with a mystery that's only just getting started. So here we are, right in the aftermath. We're in the city's fanciest hospital, and there's Dhruv Singhania, a millionaire son, just lying there, totally unconscious. He's been hooked up to machines for 5 days straight. But here's the thing the doctors don't get. The real horror isn't what happened to him. It's what's happening inside him right now. You see, this is no ordinary coma. Just moments before his body went completely still, the entire hospital staff witnessed something impossible. Dhruv's body twisted, completely inverted, and he scrambled down the stairs on all fours like some kind of animal. His movements just defied human anatomy, and it left everyone just paralyzed with fear, asking one single question. To understand what's happening to Dhruv, to get a handle on the entity that seems to have its claws in him, we have to rewind. We have to go back to where this whole nightmare began, his birthday. Okay, so it all started on his birthday. You've got Dhruv, his brand new sports car, and his 3 best friends, Nandini, Abhay, and Divyanka. They were young, they were rich, and they were planning a night they would absolutely never forget, though for all the wrong reasons. This was pretty much Dhruv's life philosophy, a kind of carefree, reckless attitude that was about to be brutally tested. He loved speed, the thrill of leaving everything behind in a blur. But that night, something else, something much, much faster, would be chasing him. For his birthday surprise, Dhruv took them all to this secluded piece of land his dad had just bought, deep inside a forest. It was right beside this beautiful, serene lake. Looked like the perfect spot for a party, right? But they made a fatal mistake right from the get-go. They decided to set up their little celebration under this really strange, unnatural-looking tree. So as they're getting ready to celebrate with meat and beer and cake, this perfect, idyllic location starts to show its true colors, and they're sinister. The forest wasn't welcoming them at all. It was actively trying to force them out. The warnings, they started off small. First, it was just a whisper, something only Divyanka could hear, and of course everyone else just laughed it off. Then, this weird wind kicks up, almost like it's trying to stop them. But things get way more aggressive when a lighter literally explodes in Dhruv's pocket, and that's when they finally get a terrifying peek at what's been watching them from the trees. And then, finally, the voice comes back. Only this time, it's not a whisper. It's a booming, terrifying command that all 4 of them hear, loud and clear. This time, they don't question it. This time, they listen. Absolutely terrified, they scramble into the car and just peel out of there, thinking they're escaping the danger. But they were so wrong. They weren't escaping. They were being hunted. Dhruv glances in his rearview mirror and sees something just impossible. A monstrous figure, maybe 15, 20 feet tall, was keeping pace with his speeding car. He said it was this grotesque mix of a man and a demon, with horns, blood-red eyes, and a body just caked in dry blood. And that's when it finally clicked. They understood the nature of the thing they had provoked. They hadn't just trespassed, they had desecrated the home of a Brahmarakshas, a powerful, intelligent, and incredibly malevolent spirit from ancient folklore. So here's the truly twisted part. The creature didn't just attack them head-on. No, it played with them. First, it makes the car crash, and in all that chaos, poof, Divyanka is just gone. But then, just moments later, Dhruv's phone rings. It's her, screaming, and the call is coming from that tree. They go back, and it's just awful. They find her mutilated body hanging there. And then it does the exact same thing to Abhay, luring him away only to throw his mangled body back at them. This wasn't just random anger. This was a cruel, calculated hunt. So, with 2 of their friends brutally murdered right in front of them, Dhruv and Nandini were left with only one option, one single instinct. They ran. For hours, they just ran blindly through the night, which is a pretty stark and ironic contrast to Dhruv's whole boast about the thrill and power of speed, isn't it? Now speed was just a desperate tool for survival. As dawn started to break, they finally stumbled out of the forest and onto a paved road. They thought they had made it. They were safe. They see a lone coconut water vendor and just run towards him, desperate for water. But the monster's hunt wasn't limited to the woods. As the vendor raises his blade to open a coconut, he transforms, right there, into the Brahmarakshas, and brings that blade down on Nandini's neck. And that brings us full circle, right back to the hospital. Drew was the sole survivor, but he wasn't really alone, was he? He carried the absolute horror of that night with him. And, as we now know, he carried something far, far more sinister inside. And that's where the story leaves us, on this absolutely chilling cliffhanger. Think about it. The Brahmarakshas killed all his friends, and now it has his body. So the physical hunt, that might be over. But the real horror, that might have just begun. The question that's going to keep you up at night isn't what happened in the forest. It's what happens next. I mean, what on earth does a demon want with a millionaire's son?